Welcome to episode 7 of our podcast, Synchronicity, where we know that nothing is a coincidence, so everything is intentional. How do you feel about that? Let's reflect upon it. Let's connect with ourselves so we can communicate about what we are observing. The fact that we are using in English language right now to be able to relate with each other is the very thing that I would like to explore in today's episode. Now that we've gotten an elementary understanding of how spirits, zeros, or spirit even before it becomes a zero just represents your spirit. The spirit's literally no thing. The zero represents the space that your no thing is encapsulated inside of, or the coincide hence. Like nothing is a coincidence, so everything's happening inside of you as a spirit, so that now you can observe something and learn about your nothingness. So whenever we're limiting ourselves to any language to be able to communicate, the order of the letters in the alphabet is going to tell a numerical story of how spirits are using light to architect reality. And it first takes numbers to make letters possible, right? You literally can't have a letter, you can't have a sequence of light, you can't have a sequence of things if there's not actually numbers. So as we already know, when spirits feel like existing or feel like making their feelings make sense, they must use numbers to separate them from themselves, which is why you are operating one body. You can have one body in all these different simulations, but when you are interacting inside of a simulation as a spirit, you are anchored to one body to show that you are an individual space. Now, there's many aspects to you as an individual. The fact is, you are an individual, and we're constantly expressing all these different aspects of ourselves, of our individuality, through many lifetimes. I mean, that's the point of living multiple lifetimes and living multiple iterations of you and living as many different animals and many different bodies. They're all expressions of you deciding to connect in a way that resonates with how you connect with yourself. So anytime a spirit is in any kind of body, like just know that they had to create that situation for themselves. They had to create the ability to be aware and communicate their awareness to then create a consciousness that supports their ability to be aware. So now they can use their awareness and their consciousness to structure out some kind of earth, some kind of business, some kind of corporation that lets them live out their desires, right? And then this is where spirits who are obsessed with being aware of the consciousness that they've created, because they don't like being nothing, they don't actually like being a spirit, they hate spirituality. This is where we get white supremacy, who is constantly working on making money matter by enslaving Negroes, enslaving indigenous peoples, enslaving inward energy, because they don't want to go inward. So they had to enslave me. They had to enslave my family. They had to enslave all of these indigenous spirits who like being alone. So if you're a spirit who loves being alone, then best believe another spirit who hates being alone is using all their creative force to figure out how they can make you connect with them. That's what white supremacy completely is, like invading lands that aren't yours so you can use a number that you made up to steal and colonize what you actually need. And the only way you can steal all the things that are actually valuable is by acting like this made up idea that you just came out of nowhere with is somehow more valuable than the actual trees, than the actual metal, than the actual water that you need to make your idea matter. So this is why money is stupid, because money is literally one individual's idea. Money is literally a spirit weaponizing numbers to colonize your space and make you serve them, literally, because this is the nature of reality. All spirits serve numbers on just a subconscious level. The fact is, your feeling in and of itself is your ability to serve. That's your feminine energy. Your feeling is your ability to serve. And your thought is your ability to be the master. So if you can have thoughts that are stronger than your feelings, then you will be the master over your domain, right? This is why fasting is essential. Hop into the ultimate functional fast, because it's all about you creating new thoughts and becoming the master of your own domain so that you stop serving thoughts outside of yourself. And as you learn how to use fasting to create your own thoughts that you serve, you then start to have those thoughts serve you. Because up to the point of fasting, all the thoughts that you've been serving, right? Eating all this fast food, eating all this heavy metal, FDA approved baby food, eating all these FDA approved toxins and garbage in general, because they clearly let all of these carcinogens into the food. If the FDA is not willing to clean baby food, are they really willing to clean anything else? Like, if the FDA can't make sure that baby food is not full of arsenic, cadmium, mercury, and all these heavy metals that cause neurological diseases, do you not think that all the rest of the food would have it as well? Like, if they can't clean baby food, I don't see why they would be making sure to clean adult food. Like, babies are the most sensitive of humans. So if there's anyone you want to make sure is getting clean food, then it would be babies. Unless you want to specifically create health problems so that you can use Chase Calloway's Caduceus to harvest the issues that come out of people having diseases from being pumped full of these toxins. Then fine. Now you've got a business, right? Way to go, white supremacy. So this is all in the language. So, in Dissect the Dialect, check out Dissect the Dialect. All right, awesome series. We go hard in dissecting language. This episode is about to be us taking what we just covered in the last episode as far as how spirits use elements and numbers. We know that 1 is fire, 2 is water, 3 is air, 4 is earth, 5 is physical reality, and then 6 is how we create, how we use all this energy to express ourselves. And then 7 is once we, in general, use physical reality to transform structures and have sex, we are severing our consciousness into the simulation, which then inevitably creates 8, because now we are creating our soul by expressing ourselves. And we're creating a soul group by using our ability to communicate, to connect with other spirits, which then leads into 9. You realizing that you are an individual, you realizing that you are creating life, and now you can go from 9 to 10. Now you can actually create heaven. So we're about to get in here, dissect the dialect. We're about to cover all the ways, I mean, not all the ways, whatever, but a nice little run through of the ways in which the English language is used to build this simulation that we are all creating. I'll see you on the other side. My soul's been crying, I simmer my trees, breathe in my leaves, balance my chi, triple my C. My mind's been flying wild, my soul's been crying, I simmer my trees, breathe in my leaves, balance my chi, triple my C. My soul's been crying wild, my mind's been flying so high. Through the astral plane, macabre brain, I built your game, we're not the same. My soul's been crying wild, my mind's been flying too. Relay a word, those who listen heard, we make our vibe from deep inside. My soul's been crying while my mind's been flying back into my space, called away with haste, so I'll fall with grace to thrill my chase. My mind's been flying while my soul's been crying too. Water my earth, I know my worth, my soul gives birth to all my work. My mind's been flying while my soul's been crying, so I can't connect with those you neglect. Time to correct how we reflect. My mind's been flying while my soul's been crying too. Who flood the sea with energy from energy, I'm free to be me. I felt to inspire you to say now, to fly higher too. Fly higher too. Fly higher too. Hang out with the family, your true spot. Don't be sad if you forgot that you've got a spirit squad and you're not true to this spot. Flip a script and break the facade. Take a trip and go abroad. When you're brave, they will apply. When you get in touch with your true God. I've been fighting. I've been vibing when I'm dancing with demons, reversing curses and scheming. They be fiending for reasons to change the sins like the seasons. So I've been falling, cause y'all been calling my mind out of my spirit. I feel it best when I'm near it, but y'all cry for help and I hear it. So Hermes flies out to stare it in a new healthy direction. Will grow through natural connection. So I simmer my trees, breathe in my leaves, balance my chi, triple my C to level up like it's nothing, to turn into something, to bust into function, bumping and pumping with all the wisdom I'm gushing. And when I simmer my trees, breathe in my leaves, balance my chi, triple my C, I felt to inspire you. Simmer higher, I simmer in the skies, I triple in my chi, then I open up my eyes. CymaTree, I balance in my seasons. I mother the cohesion that keeps us intertwined. CymaTree, balance in my seasons, and I don't need a reason to fulfill my desires. CymaTree. All right, so we're speaking English, right? There's 26 letters in our English alphabet. Growing up in school, maybe you weren't forced to, but I was definitely forced to sing the alphabet. Most people know the alphabet.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. Now I know my ABCs. Next time, won't you sing with me?
That's the alphabet, right? So we're about to tell the story of literally how nothingness creates the universe so that it can connect with other nothingness. How does nothingness turn into somethingness? And how do we make this make sense? You are rolling with Tahuti Trismegistus. You are tapping into the root of the symmetry. You are tuning in to the mind of Mercury, the mind from Mercury. This mind made Mercury. All right, the mind always comes before the body. Okay, anything you can see is being animated by what you can't see, right? So the body is a physical representation of a spirit. The mind is the ethereal representation of the spirit. This is why your body needs to breathe. If you stop breathing air, you will die. Anyone who's trying to tell you that it's healthy not to breathe is actively working to kill you and create disease inside of you. And they're probably using my Caduceus to harvest your energy, right? Here's our world. So, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Every letter means something. Let's get in here. A, awareness. This is one. So A is you as a fire. So notice everyone is a spirit. Everyone is a something, right? No one is the something. The idea of being the is that you rule all the A's. So whenever someone's like, this is the end, then it would be the end for all A's versus this is a end. And it's like, yeah, there's always a end. So of course, anytime someone says this is the, they're only talking more so about themselves. Or we'll get into that T energy. That's later. So A is about individuality. T is about connecting all the individuals. So this is why T is definitive. If someone says the end, it's over for everyone involved, not just a spirit. So A is your awareness. That is you having your individual imagination. So the moment a spirit becomes aware, that is the first light that they create. Your awareness itself is your pure desire. The fact that you're aware is the main desire that makes all of your other desires possible. Like, you literally, if you didn't have the desire to be aware, you would not be able to be. Like, this is why spirituality is desire in that way. Fire is the first element. If you are not passionate about what you're doing, it's going to actually be impossible to do it. So this is what A is about. A is the fire. A is you as a spirit having your own imagination that no other spirit can see. That's what makes you a unique individual. So the moment you have your own A, the moment you have your ascension or your awareness, your awesomeness, you then create B. And B is us feeling like connecting with our imagination because it's so beautiful. So that's where when you as a spirit create your own awareness and you have all this idea, this first fire, and it's dancing super brilliantly, it's your imagination, it's your passion to go from nothing into something. When you're looking at this fire, if you like it, it gets you wet. You think that it's beautiful and you want to connect with it. So this is what B is about. B, being water, is about you connecting with the fire that you made to express your nothingness. And the only way you can connect with the fire that you use to express your nothingness is to use water. And when you create water, when you use your watery feelings to connect with your fire, this is the alchemy that makes the mind real. This is the alchemy that makes communication possible. So that's where you then create C. The first thing that you can see is going to be the actual result of you feeling like connecting with your imagination, because now you're able to communicate yourself into reality. So this is where, like, all is the mind is all, you're just all that Tahuti Thoth stuff as far as mentalism and everything, because spirit, it's Hermeticism right here, simplified. Cymacism right here, simplified. Is that you as a spirit are using your thoughts and feelings, your man and woman, your fire and water, to create the air that animates your body. You're combining your fire and water to create the chi that animates your body, to create the consciousness that actually makes your vessel matter in the first place. Like, your body literally doesn't matter if your mind did not consistently communicate every day to sever into the simulation and build connections in a certain kind of way. That literally makes it matter, right? All starts in your dad's nutsack, goes on over to your mom's womb, and then incubates there, and now here you are as a chi, right there, 1, 2, 3. The man shoots out the fire, the woman receives the fire, incubates it with her water, so now air can come out. Now you, the child, can come out, and you are using a body to express your child, your air. This is life. You feel me? So when I say that I fly around the universe, I see spirits using my principles, this is just the way that I speak about it and the way I've been educating about it through, eons at this point, as far as just my cosmic duty and my cosmic mission and how I naturally build up what I'm passionate about. Because again, no one has assigned me to do this except myself. So I, as a spirit, am learning more about myself based on how I, as quote-unquote Irisel, command Chase to act out his Thoth duties. And then that's where Chase is the body, Tahuti Thoth is my soul, and then Irisel is more correlated to my spirit / higher self. So that's, as a spirit, you are using your body in order to connect with other bodies, and that's only possible because you feel like connecting with yourself first. Like, if I did not have my own soul, I would literally not be able to vibrate. If I didn't have my own water, I would not be able to even project a vibration into the universe to be able to animate any kind of energy, any kind of body. So this is the wisdom in knowing that you as a spirit are separate from all other spirits. You as a spirit are an infinite simulation inside of yourself. And this is what I'm all about. Sharing with you how you do this so that you can do it in a more conscious way. So let's continue. C is 3. You are communicating yourself into reality as a child based on combining your man and woman, the fire and water. And as you consistently communicate, this is where air settles. So you keep blowing out air in a certain way, right? That's going to settle into a structure. All those air particles are going to settle into earth. That then stabilizes whatever consistent communication that you were blowing out. Because it literally takes, from like a visual perspective, you as a spirit are infinitely nothing. You are separate from all other spaces, yet also not, because it's all just space. But the moment you create an awareness, you actually are separate from other spaces, because now you are in your own imagination. And the only way that you can connect your imagination is to go back to uniting with other spaces, which is what water is. So this is why everything in the universe is separated by fire and connected by water, because it's literally this play out forever. This is what I've coined the cycle of 3 in Cymatic terms. In terms of the spirit, you as nothingness, first project out an idea, and then you connect, reflect that idea, and then you balance it. So literally you go from nothing to fire, and then water, and then air. And that balance of the projection and then reflection settles, which creates earth. So all the earth, all the structures that support anything were created through consistent communication. They were created through spirits balancing their chaos constantly, right? And then that chaos turns into stability based on how they balance their chaos. So we're about to learn a lot about how the entities who colonized indigenous peoples and stole all the lands and things in the Americas are using the English language to colonize and control our eyes and control our powers, so that we build a structure for people who need us. And they hate that they need us, but they so much need us. They need us so much that they'll call us the N-word, because we go inward, literally, and they can't. But it's only going to be derogatory, though, because it's such a negative vibration. They really hate meditating with themselves. They really hate sitting alone with themselves. Even when I'm Hermes, just like helping them as much as I can, all they can do, this is what I've learned, like if a spirit hates being alone with themselves, then any friendships that they make are just going to be an extension of that. And they're only going to use Luciferian energy. They have to look loving, they have to appear nice in order to connect with you, so they can run away from themselves. And then you're only going to start becoming the perception of their negative projections as you continuously connect with them. So when you as a spirit communicate what you see, right? Everything you can see is mental. So the things that you're looking at are all earth, right? But the things that you're looking at only matter because you're able to communicate about them to yourself. You're able to look at these colors, look at these objects and be like, oh, okay, that's white, that's a TV. Oh, that's a vacuum. Oh, that's a microwave. Oh, that's an oven. Oh, that's a washing machine. You know, like you had to be trained through a certain system to be able to identify these objects based on how you've connected and thus communicated with them, and how they thus then help you build your life. Because now your life is built upon you reaching for your phone every day, right? That's literally a whole structure, a whole object that only mattered because of other spirits' minds. And they're now making money by putting it into your space and telling you that you need to connect through other people on this structure. And then this structure is supported by all these other structures that you also need to connect to if you want to even financially be able to afford a phone or be able to afford to be connected to the network that is being pushed upon you. Right? So it's whoever's bringing things to you, they're going to create problems to make you serve them. This is why this is just a natural state of numbers. Anytime someone tells you that you need money, they're actually using a number to project into your space to make you serve them. So now you're going to build their world. So the more you believe that you need whatever someone else tells you that you need, they literally are building your mind, and now you're connecting with what they want you to connect with, and they don't even believe that. Like the people who are telling indigenous peoples that they need money don't believe in money. They know that they're using money to steal the things that they actually want, but they have to make it appear like money will give you freedom because they're using money to steal other people's freedom so hard. So when you as a spirit are combining your A and B to create C and communicate what you want to see, so now you can see and now you can connect with everything that you do see, and thus you're creating earth from that. You're creating a structure that supports your life. That structure is naturally then E. E is energy. So this is why all structures are transforming, literally. Like all structures have to transform because they are literally being created by you seeing what you want to be. And what you want to be is always changing. Although it's only based in A though, right? So you as an individual, you will always be an individual. But the way that you as a spirit connect with your individuality is infinite. And that's your B, that's your water. So this is why the universe is infinite and it's always changing, because although we are all individual spirits, the ways in which we feel like connecting with that are constantly, just changing. Like our emotions, we're cycling through that. So this is where everything is then water based, and air is the fire that carries the water. Air is us being able to use our minds, use our intentions to carry our feelings of connecting with other spirits, which then allows us to create the bodies that then let us communicate and actually live it out. Pretty cool. So this is why everything is energy. All things are transforming structures, and thus all things are dying. 5 is the die. 5 is to phi. 5 is physical reality. So when you're transforming physical reality by communicating how you connect with yourself, then that is literally you having sex. So this is where E becomes F. You are fornicating. You are having fun. You are showing how you function inside of yourself to bring functioning to the external, so that now you can have fun with people who resonate with how you function, right? So you have to function inside of yourself. You have to feel like you're having some nice funky time, right? That function is that water. You're cycling to your own music. You're dancing to yourself. And now as you express how you dance to other people, now you can connect with other spirits who resonate with your function. So you can all build functions together, right? It's not fun to have a party with people that you can't connect or communicate with, right? Like that's the whole point. We have to have fun internally. We have to fuck ourselves internally. We have to fornicate internally, so that then we can fornicate, fuck, have fun externally. And now that's us having sex. And by doing this, we are then, you as a spirit, let me speak in you terms. Well, no, I'll go back and forth, we and you. You as a spirit, by having sex, by going from A, B, C, D, E, F, that is you separating yourself from all other spirits, which is G. So G is greatness. That generation is the separation. You are showing how great you are by separating how you have sex from all other spirits. So we're all connected by energy. We're all using the same structures. We're all transforming the same structures so we can communicate and connect with each other. That's the only way we can. We have to transform the same structures, right? Like I transformed this English language into dissect the dialect so that now I can communicate more consciously, and then you can connect with it and we can build more from here, right? So it's all about us as spirits. We have to connect with the same structure so that we can transform that structure in a way that communicates our imaginations and feelings about our nothingness. Or else I would be saying totally different words and we just didn't learn the same language. So that's the point of why we learn the same things in general. So now, of course, the moment I am speaking though, I'm only separating myself from how I have sex with you. Like, I'm separating myself from how I create life from you. I'm speaking totally different things. Like, we can speak the same language, we may seem to know the same words and same letters, but clearly the way that I'm putting them together is separating me from all other spirits who know the same language. So that in and of itself, that G creates H. I'm now using my ability to transform the structure that I'm connecting to create a home. So now I'm able to use my words to build a home for myself. I'm able to use my words to build my own heart. And that's where G, being separation, is basically, if you did not hate where you were right now, you would not communicate. People who speak out, right? Like, when you speak out against injustice, it's because you hate what you're seeing. But if you're, like, you grow up in America and you love slavery, you love supporting the rape and genocide of indigenous people turned black people, and you do that for centuries, you build a whole culture on it throughout all these continents, then you're not going to speak out against that at all. You're going to actually have your home built on that. So now all of your ability to communicate is going to be focused on creating a home out of enslaving other people. That's what this language literally is. Entities figuring out not just a home, but a heaven, which is why J is the heaven letter. We'll get there. So H, being the 8th letter, is about your hermetic heart. It's about realizing what makes you happy and what makes you hateful, so you can bring these two circles together to create the infinite 8 that makes you great. Now you have your own soul. Now you have your own feeling about the universe. And that is what creates I. I, 9th letter in the alphabet, is about you being the 9-dimensional being that has its own individual perspective, which was only possible because you have brought together what makes you happy and what you hate. So you realize what makes you happy, you realize what you hate, because that G is that separate. So you like having sex, that makes you happy. You like creating life, but you hate the way that you are doing it up to that point. So now G allows you to separate and change it, which now creates a H. You are now creating a heart, right? So this is literally us as spirits then creating a heart, even creating a home, creating that H energy. That is the soul, literally, that allows us to power any body that we feel like being.